It won't be the speech he originally planned. Tonight, President Joe Biden will open the party's convention in Chicago to make the case that Vice President Kamala Harris is the one to carry the torch. This is video of the president practicing on the convention floor about an hour ago. Well, tonight he addresses the nation again, just 1 month after ending his re-election campaign. Good evening. Welcome to WMTV 15 News at 5. I'm Elizabeth Wattis. Wisconsin has 95 delegates from all across the state at the Democratic National Convention. The delegates include Governor Tony Evers and Senator Tammy Baldwin. And there are also some younger delegates making a name for themselves. These delegates say the work doesn't stop at the convention, explaining they plan to keep organizing amongst their peers to get out the vote before the election.
Remind all your friends to go vote. Show your friends how to vote, because I think a lot of kids don't know how to vote.
You know, it's something that I've been trying to get my friends to understand, who are so oblivious when it comes to politics. They don't care if you're left, right, middle, whatever you are. They don't think it affects them, and it's just not true at all.
New tonight on WMTV 15 News at 6, we'll hear more from these young delegates and what inspires them to get involved. Now, NBC News reports the Harris-Walz ticket has surged into the statistical tie or narrow leads in national and battleground surveys against Trump and Vance. The Democrats seek to continue their momentum at the convention, and that's where we find WMTV's Mark McPherson on the ground at the United Center in Chicago.
We are just moments away from the primetime portion of the Democratic National Convention here in Chicago on Monday night. And the convention is starting with a very big night. A lot of big names speaking. Former First Lady, former Secretary of State, and former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton will take the stage tonight. Dr. Jill Biden is speaking a little bit later on as well. And of course, the big featured speaker tonight is President Joe Biden, who will take the stage last and give what could be his last big speech of his presidency. Now, it wasn't that long ago that Joe Biden was supposed to be speaking Thursday night, but that was when he was still the nominee, and a lot has happened since then, so it should be interesting to hear what he says. How do delegates feel about tonight? Wisconsin delegates traveled here to Minnesota, to their neighboring state. We're going to hear from them a little bit later on, and coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to hear from Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul about how he feels about the convention and how things have been going for the Democrats so far. So we have a lot coming up. We'll get back to that in just a few minutes, but until then, reporting in Chicago, Mark McPherson, WMTV 15 News.
Mark, thank you. We'll be back for an update in just a few minutes. It's estimated a few thousand protesters are marching in downtown Chicago near the convention site, speaking out on a number of topics. There are protests in support of Palestine, asking for a ceasefire, as well as protests asking the Democratic Party to do more to ensure reproductive health care. Other topics include racial equality and climate change, the U.S. Secret Service pledging to keep the peace.
The DNC is a national special security event, which means the federal government's full complement of resources are available to provide a safe and secure environment.
The DNC will be through Thursday, with protests expected throughout Chicago every day. Senator Ron Johnson and Senator Rick Scott held a press conference today from the Trump Hotel and Tower in Chicago. He criticized Democrats for nominating someone who did not get a vote in the primary. He called it a coup. Stay tuned. We have team coverage with Mark McPherson live at the convention coming up later in the show. And of course, find the latest anytime on our website or wherever you stream.